Frantic Nerdcast here to stay. AJ, Brock, and Zach will say, join the ride, don't fade away. Nerdy joy and full display.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Frantic Nerdcast, episode 69. I am AJ.
I'm Brock.
And I'm Zach.
And we are back for another week of frantic nerdiness.
And absolute general ramblings.
Yes,
Because that is what you know and love, and we deliver.
How are we all, lads?
Doing great. I spent some money this week, which is always fun.
What'd you spend money on?
Gundam.
Oh, card game, yeah.
So I went and spent some money, got the Gundam booster.
You just get one booster?
Just the one booster, booster box.
Yeah,
So I can't justify getting multiple. I even toyed with the idea of how big this is going to be, getting one and putting it in a plastic case. And I'm like, that's no fun. I'll just get one and let's have some fun with it.
We're not Zach.
So did that.
I have no plastic cases.
You will.
So yeah,
We've all seen your little fucking videos, mate.
You're welcome, mate. Popping out that content for the people. This is what they want.
on the note of that content, Zach, it's made me quite mad because when I went into... Oh, actually, quick side note. Gundam, it basically said everywhere, all the pre-orders sold out for all your starters, all your boosters. It was very, very hard to find something online. Go to your brick and mortar stores if you want to see what's going on or if they've actually got something, because I went into Good Games and said, oh, Gundam, bloody pre-order's gone already. And he goes, we haven't sold one yet. The online store is done. All the pre-orders are still available in store. So go check out your brick and mortars if there's something that you're looking for to pre-order, because there's a very high chance that they still have it. So this was like a week ago.
I mean, it was $30 dearer than everywhere else, though.
For the boosters, yeah, but even for the starters, the starters were on par. So all their starter decks, that's the just the base ones and the ones you can get with the minis. So they were on par with the recommended retail.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
The boosters, yeah, they were a bit more
I've
expensive.
noticed that the brick and mortar, like the Good Games and things like that, are usually more expensive for the boosters, even for Pokemon. Whereas if you pick up,
Good Games in general is more expensive than everyone else.
Yeah.
but
They're an
I've found
expensive
like
shop.
even Archaven and the other game stores I went to over the weekend, like it's that they're generally more expensive. They usually got more stock than say like a JB Hi-Fi.
Yes.
Where it's what they've got is random and you just got to be lucky to get there at the right time, but they're generally cheaper. Kmart, same thing, is cheaper than going to Good Games and those sort of places.
But also, if you time it right, i.e. end of financial year, Good Games usually gets rid of a lot of cardboard.
It's the start of the new financial year, isn't it? They usually do it?
I don't know if they do it just like start just before and carry through,
Yeah.
or but I've been keeping an eye on to
Because
see
we've gotten some fucking killer deals. Like we got My Hero Academia booster boxes for like $40 each.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It was
We got a
awesome.
whole heap of Soulforge, Digimon.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of Magic draft boxes,
Yep.
which is where you get like 15
I
packs.
think you get 40 packs. I think you get 40 packs because it's, or maybe it's 20.
Oh,
so
it was 20,
that you
yeah, it
can
was 20 packs,
build
and
10
you get
decks.
each pack comes with 15 cards. Or 20 cards, sorry. It comes with 20 cards, and you just grab 2 packs, open them, shuffle them together, and play.
A really, really fun format for people who don't want to divulge so far into Magic. I think we've mentioned it before.
But the
it's
packs
pretty cool.
were pre-constructed
Yes.
packs kind of thing. So there was only like 2 different mountain decks, 2 different mountain packs, 2 different plains packs kind of
fair
things. But it was still good fun.
But in any way, so went into Good Games and watching all of Zach's goddamn Pokemon shit, I'm like, fuck this, I'm getting a Pokemon pack. So I bought a packet of bloody Pokemon, and I'm very glad that I did. All happy and not happy, because I got the new set is the Destined Rivals, or at least one of the more recent ones. I got an ultra rare gold Crobat in it, so I was very happy to get that. Nice card, very, very happy, but I'm like, oh, fuck. You know that one little fucking thing that gets the door open and you want to buy more. I haven't bought more, thankfully,
So,
but
Let me just get
fuck.
the Pokemon cards.
Pretty much.
That Pokemon
Pretty
itch.
much.
So my sister is currently annoyed at me because it was my nephew's birthday on the weekend, and if you've seen the content I put out, I made him got him a binder and some penny sleeves and things like that to try and teach him a bit of responsibility with collecting. So not only is she really mad at me, she's actually happy because he's starting to take a bit of care over his cards, but he's right into that the Rocket set, the Destined Rival set, so he's trying to collect them now as well.
Yeah.
So I took him out on the weekend up to Urban Empire and got him to spend some of his birthday money on a few cards and things like that. So he's quite happy and very much invested in it as well.
Very good. So
Nice,
you're just
very
going to
nice.
go quiet on your sister for a little while, just let that play out for a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I've got 2 cards in the latest Pokemon Pocket set to get.
Oh, yeah.
I've got the full set.
Oh, the for the mobile game.
Yep.
Yeah, I've still got a few in that one. I think I got about 8 or 9. It's annoying because you get to like about 8 or 9 in each of them, and it just sort of sits there for
Well,
ages.
now,
like,
now
fuck.
I'm at the process where I'm just like trying to get as many booster packs as possible so I can get those pack points.
Yeah.
Just to
Yeah.
buy the cards.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
just-
yeah, exactly.
It just infuriates you. You should be able to sell your doubles and stuff and get
Trade-
pack
trade-
points.
So
get
get
the,
pack
them,
the
points that
doubles
way.
allow you to just get shinies or something?
Yeah, essentially you can
Oh,
upgrade cards.
No, not
Oh
not
no,
shiny.
it's like effects.
Yeah, yeah.
When you play the card, it does
Right,
like an
okay.
effect, and it's fucking pointless.
So every deck you can have 2 of, or every card you build you can have 2 of a card. So you kind of need to get 2 of every card if you want to sort of have something to play with. But every deck that you make, you can use that same 2 cards in each deck. So you
Yeah.
only need 2. So yeah, when you start to get to the 10, 15, 20 of one card, just like, well, okay, I'll just make this very shiny when you play it.
Yeah.
And it just goes fireworks
There's a
and
couple
shit.
of cards
It's like,
in this set. Because I've done about 3 10-pack purchases.
yeah.
And like just so many cards. So many cards.
It's good fun. It gets that little buzz so that you can try and
Yeah,
get your
I've
cards
got to
and
be in the
whatnot.
mood to sort of sit down and play a bit because
Yeah, it's called pooping.
that, yeah. But it's
That's
more
when I
just
do it.
the battles are just a bit too slow. Like,
It's because of your stupid Beedrill deck you're talking about. My battles aren't slow.
Mm.
yeah, that's fine.
My battles are over in 8 turns.
Even then, the 8 turns is just slow.
Nah, that's not too bad with those ones. It's all right.
I
Beedrill
only,
decks,
I only
Beedrill
play
deck
I only
wins,
play
though.
I as well because I just can't stand playing against normal people.
Beedrill deck wins though. It wins.
All right, sure.
Anyways, let's talk about some other rambling shit.
Let's just get on to some news, eh? Let's
Some
talk
news.
about some. We haven't talked about current Facebook events in a while.
Let's do that.
Let's get the phones out and talk about some random shit, shall we? What do we got? I got to press that button and that button and that button.
I'll start then.
Go for it.
Jackie Chan has confirmed that Shanghai Noon 3, officially titled Shanghai Dawn, is still in the works and that he still has a high interest in returning to the role.
Oh,
So that would be after Shanghai Nights and Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights, yeah. With Owen Wilson.
Yeah, they weren't his best movies in my opinion.
I didn't mind him. I quite enjoyed them.
Rush Hour much better.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
going to say there was also another thing kicking around about a Rush Hour 3. Both of them.
Rush Hour 4.
4, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually don't think I've seen number 3.
Oh, it wasn't great.
Yeah, number 4, because they're both sort of saying, come on, guys, let's get to it. I'm like 60.
Yeah. So I got this one. It was Martin Campbell, the director of Green Lantern, the original Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds. He was talking about something and he said, "Oh, it's fair enough. You know, look, people didn't like it. It failed, right? I was the director, so you know, obviously, I take the heat for it, which is fine." He said to the response to the movie, "But all I can say is Ryan's a very funny guy and very funny, very fun. We actually had a terrific time on the film. In fact, I wish to God he had written the script and it would have been a great movie." Campbell added, "But he's always taking jabs at it, and fair enough. Though, listen, it was a big success for him because he met Blake Lively."
Hey, fair. There you go. Blumhouse is in talk to buy the Saw franchise. Now, when I originally took that, I think they've actually made the purchase.
Wow.
So I think Blumhouse now has the Saw franchise.
Fuck, that would have cost him a penny.
A penny and a few more.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it because, I mean, Blumhouse makes some incredible like horror movies. So, I mean, they'll definitely, I think they'll try and stay true to it. And when I say true to it, I mean their first 1 or 2 movies. So I think they'll get back and get.
It'll
like, sort of into that.
go. I feel like it'll go more back to the first couple. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they'll go back to that and have fun with it.
I still love the fact that original movie was just made by 2 blokes from Sydney,
Yeah, hanging out.
and it's one of the biggest horror franchises in the world.
Oh, 100%. It's awesome.
And that first movie cost like 15 million to make.
I thought it was less than that. I knew it was
Something-
fuck all.
like some ridiculous.
Because
tiny
they
amount.
did it. Didn't they do it in film school or something? They
Well,
did it as a film school
did
project.
the bear trap scene.
Ah, okay.
So the bear trap scene they did at film school,
Sure.
and it cost them like $5,000 to make.
Yeah.
And they shot
Maybe
that
that's what I'm
around,
thinking
and
of.
that's what got them the going ahead to
Sure.
make the movie,
That makes sense.
or the reverse bear trap, should I say?
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them.
Dude, the original Saw is
Credible.
I have no interest in them.
it's not horror.
Oh, because that's right. You don't like horror, but it
The
isn't horror. Is
the
it? It's
original
more
Saw is more a psychological thriller.
thriller. Yeah.
They
good.
moved number 2 on. They moved into like torture porn.
Yeah.
but number one is very much like a fuck with your head psychological movie. It's fantastic.
Doesn't
And you
take
get
much
to the
fuck
end,
with my head.
and you get to the that is fair. You get to the end, and it just goes, "Well, I didn't fucking see that coming, did I?"
It's still to this day, one of the only movies where the ending happens, and I was like, did not expect that.
Yeah,
Like at no point did I expect that to be the ending.
brilliant.
It was perfect.
Zachary, you are tasked with watching one of them.
Number
There's
one,
like- there's
just
like-
one, number one,
there's
just number
not
one.
made
That's all you have to watch.
We'll see. James Gunn confirms that a couple of the characters who died in season 1 of Peacemaker will be returning in season 2.
Yeah, there was aliens and stuff. I don't see why not.
Flashbacks.
I love in the trailer for that where it's like
I haven't actually watched one yet.
oh, it's
I haven't
like
watched the trailer
Rick
either.
Flag Senior's there, and he's talking to the black chick, and he's sitting there. He goes,
Viola
no,
Davis.
the friend one who was like one of the workers.
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah.
the first season, and he's talking to her, and he goes, "So Rick Flag Senior's taking over?" She's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Does he know I killed his son?" "Yeah, he knows." The Voltron movie has officially wrapped.
Yep.
So this is a bit of old news now, but our live-action Voltron has officially wrapped production, and we're thrilled with how it all went. I've been with the franchise for years and can proudly say that this will be a Voltron experience that fans all over will have been dreaming of. There's been some chatter out there about the plans for the film's launch, and we'd like to assure you when official plans are set for the film, we will be the first to hear it right here. Stay tuned. I promise it will be worth the wait. Bob Colgar World Events Productions.
Because I seen that, but also seen a couple of things where they were a bit unhappy because there's rumours around it not getting its theatrical release that it was meant to get and coming direct to Prime, I think it was. So there was a bit of...
I think Voltron. It's got to be a movie. It's got to be theatrical.
You would want it to be, but I mean, it's hard at the moment with how much people are spending on movies, or
Yeah.
these companies are spending on movies, and they're just not getting the return. So why spend the extra to put it into the cinemas and whatnot, and whatever they've got to do there, and just not make as much? So I mean, fuck.
I thought Voltron was part of Transformers for so long.
Oh dear God.
Until very recently.
Let him on this fucking show.
I was so close to letting him off probation. He's just fucking back straight at the start.
So the original Voltron was one of those.
For my time.
Well, the original Voltron was one of those animes that was brought over to America, and it was like multiple different animes clunked together, and to make like a singular series, so that they had enough episodes for
Syndication.
syndication. So like the original Voltron was the lions, and then it went to cars,
Honestly,
and
I can't
then
remember.
trains. I think was like the third season kind of thing. But then watch the Netflix Voltron. It is so fucking good, man.
I think it was seeing that sort of trailer pop up and I was like, wait, this isn't Transformers.
the Netflix Voltron was so well. I didn't watch it for so long just because I was just like, yeah. And then I watched, like one of my mates, Hoffman, said, you've got to watch it. I'm like, all right. So I put it on and watched it, and fucking I binge watched all 5 seasons of it like in a weekend, man. It was so fucking good.
I haven't watched it yet, so I'll put it on the list.
Oh, so good.
Switch 2. So they're out and about. They're getting
fucking
reviews and whatnot. This was one that I thought was fucking hilarious. Screens are being punctured by receipts stapled to the box.
That's hilarious.
So there was a particular, I think it was a particular place. They typically don't do the bags or anything like that, and they were constant stapling receipts to the front, and went through a lot of screens.
Because I saw someone do like a damage test on it where he basically got one and like tried to destroy it. It was like basically metal will fuck it, plastic won't.
Yep.
And yeah, the screen, it's got a plastic screen apparently.
And one other quick one on the Switch. So we've known that it was going to be backwards compatible, so all of your Switch 1 games can be played on the Switch 2.
Yep.
Some people have actually come through and tried the Switch 2 games on the Switch 1, and apparently there is some compatibility there as well. I don't know how far that spreads.
I mean, it's a Switch 1. That's all it is. Like,
No, but I mean-
the Switch 2 is just, it's a Switch 1. There's nothing fucking new
but
about it.
typically they do things where they can't play.
It'd be like a
backwards
and
compatible.
like newer graphics cards and things like that
Yeah,
in it that it requires.
It's really not that.
But,
There's nothing different about it, really.
But yeah, so it was just interesting that the Switch 2 games could be played on the Switch 1. I mean, typically there's...
Probably not mine. Because mine's
We
fucking
know
hacked and fucked.
know that it wouldn't be yours.
Mine works. I just can't connect to the Nintendo store.
Which means you can't download any Switch 2 games.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. You skipping me or?
I got skipped.
No, you
you
didn't.
Yeah, we were going that way.
You spoke about Voltron.
You spoke about Voltron, then it went to Brock.
Oh, was it? Alright. I did too.
Zach.
Smallville actor Michael Rosenbaum reveals he has a role in DC Superman.
Yeah, he's actually come out and said he's actually voiced multiple lines. Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. He's huge in DC. Like, he does a lot of voices in the animated movies. And, I mean, he was.
I'm just going to throw another Superman one out there before it gets moved on. So Nicholas Hoult shares the moment he knew he lost the role of Superman to David Cornsweet. Apparently, he walked out and saw David Cornsweet just walking along in the sunlight. Was like, yeah, he's Superman.
I've seen that somewhere, yeah. That was like John Krasinski was up for the role of Captain America. And he said he was doing a trial and he was there. He was about to put the clothes on. And he saw, I think it was either Chris Hemsworth. He saw Chris Hemsworth in his Thor outfit, and he said he was starting to put the clothes on. He saw Chris Hemsworth. Like, yeah, no, he said, no, I'm right, thank you.
Moving
there you go. Mine is Wheel of Time based, so we all know Wheel of Time
Yes.
got the axe.
Did you sign the petition?
They still haven't announced why it was cancelled, and even the showrunners and stuff are like, we don't understand why it was cancelled, considering it is one of the highest rated shows on Amazon.
Yeah, right.
Like more than Rings of Power and stuff, and Rings of Power got renewed. Rings of Power's actually been sold as well.
I was going to say Rings and Power.
Clarkson's Farm's got more views than Rings of Power.
But no one actually knows why they haven't done. But I mean, it was always going to happen because long form TV shows just don't work anymore. That formula does not work.
Which is
on
annoying
streaming.
when they take on shows and concepts like this and Rings of Power where you need multiple seasons.
I knew from the start it was never going to get finished. But yeah, now there's the petition that's got like something, I think it's nearly up to 200,000 signatures now.
I thought it was like
they've done GoFundMe's
more,
and got a shit ton of money from GoFundMe's to put up billboards on the way, on like the routes where all producers and stuff drive and all that kind of stuff. But apparently it hasn't even been shopped around.
Oh.
Which is the weird thing. For most of those shows, when they get cancelled, they will be shopped around.
Try and make some money off of the last bit of it.
Or to get someone else to pick it up to do the next season. But apparently this hasn't even been shopped around. So there's it's a bit of a conspiracy as to what the fuck just happened. Like, why is this doing it?
Maybe they shelved it and maybe they're going to come back in several years and do more. I don't know.
I reckon it could be a bit of maybe the estate has stepped in. Robert Jordan's estate might have stepped in and maybe put the kibosh on it.
Okay.
I don't know, but if the estate steps in and they're like, we want more money or something like that, maybe they're like, well, no, sorry, because maybe the new season went really well.
Yeah, okay.
And the Robert Jordan's estate came in and went, we want more money, and they're like, no, and they just actually
it'd have to be some sort of backdoor politics, something like that, because they said otherwise it makes no sense
they
why there's
said,
no announcements or not being shopped around and things
considering
like that.
it's their one of their highest rated shows ever.
Yeah.
For the third season.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah. Sad, but oh well.
Who's that?
It's you, mate.
Me. We have the final season of Sandman. So it's coming out very, very shortly, as in less than a month. So it's meant to be coming out on July 3rd.
Part 1.
12. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So they're doing 12 episodes. They're doing in 2 volumes, so volume 1 and volume 2, and we're actually getting a bonus episode on July 31. So we're going to get.
They did that last time with the Cat's Dream one.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll get episodes 1 to 6 on July 3rd, episodes 7 to 11 on July 24, and then the bonus episode on July 31. So it'll be a good month. I like the break that they've got in there. Just let you sort of settle and marinate in the first half and dig into the second.
I was so keen for this to come out, but then with all the shit that's going on with it and it effectively being cancelled and all that sort of thing.
But apparently it wasn't cancelled.
Yeah,
they only have a plan for 2.
Yeah.
But that announcement just conveniently came out when all the shit about Neil Gaiman came out.
Of course.
Yeah, it's just sort of like ruined my sort of vibe for it. I'll watch it because I know Lisa's keen
I'm
to
going to
watch
watch
as
the
well.
shit out of it. It's one of my favourite comic books ever made.
It'll be very, very good watch. It's just unfortunate that it has a stain for the person who wrote it.
And like, because I still remember when the first season was announced, instantly I was like, how the fuck are they going to do the Lucifer fight? And because in the comics it's just so
insane.
Good. And then as soon as I saw the Lucifer fight in it, I was like, oh, that is just so well done. And then I've watched that scene and I'm like, all right, how they're going to do the cafe scene. How they going to do that? And then I watched that. I was like, fuck.
I think I might actually go back and watch it.
Fucking
again.
nailed it.
I haven't watched it
Nailed
in
it. I've watched it
ages.
like 5 times.
Oh, wow.
I love it. But like I said, it's one of my favorite books in general, not just comic books.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans weren't allowed to do joint interviews together because of their overly playful behaviour. And that disappoints me because I'd love to see those two in a room just running amok.
The best interviews I'm seeing at the moment are Pom, whatever her name is, and Simon Pegg.
Clementif. Or
Yeah,
Clementif.
their interviews at the moment for Mission Impossible are really, really good. And also Pedro Pascal, Chris Evans, and Dakota Fanning are doing interviews for some movie they're in together.
Yeah.
And it's thoroughly enjoyable. They're just Pedro Pascal is just an idiot in interviews in general, but so is like Chris Evans.
Yeah.
These. Oh, sorry. But yeah, really enjoyable.
It's you, mate.
Me? Avengers Doomsday / Secret Wars supposedly is going to be the most expensive film ever made.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about...
And it will need to make $2 billion to get its money back. Yeah.
So we spoke a few weeks ago
That'll make it
about...
easy.
Yeah. We spoke a few weeks about the fact that for them to make a profit, they would need to earn $2 billion. But I mean... The other little caveat, like thing that I seen was that it's $250 million on actors alone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
like $250 million purely on the talent who's going to be in it. Then you've got every other bits and pieces that goes into it. Like that's fucking massive.
I just said it should make that easy. But as Brock said before,
It's also 2 movies you got to remember. So it'll be getting 2 lots of
two
box
1
office.
billion box office. But like more and more people are just waiting for it to come out in an extra a few months' time and just watch it at home.
But see, the big thing about these are event movies.
Yeah, they are. Like I expect it to make it, but I don't think it'll make it as comfortably as I thought it would originally.
I think it'll do it comfortably. I think Doomsday. I don't think Doomsday will set records. I think it will come close to setting records. I think it'll be. I think Secret Wars is gonna fucking smash it out of the park. I think that's gonna be like Endgame level.
Is that because of the storyline?
It's because of it's essentially pretty much every character, multiple versions of every character. And it's a full reset.
The way to put it is Endgame was the culmination of the first sort of 10 or so years. I think it ended up being about 11 or 12 years. This is kind of the culmination of everything from the start. So if it's a culmination of everything from the start, which by the time it releases, I think is about 20 years or so,
it will be.
It's going to be like it's going to hit. It's going to hit fucking huge. So I think it will.
It's essentially them resetting the entire universe and starting from fresh.
And I genuinely think they're going to struggle with the reset. I think this is going to be a very big thing where, like similar to when Endgame came out and it just kind of went dead for a while. They had just a dribble of whatnot. I think this is going to be worse than that.
I think they need to do what I wanted them to do after Endgame, and it's just take a few-year break. Don't release anything. Just let that settle, and then let people start to miss Marvel, and then come back slowly.
I think they'll be forced to, because whatever they bring out, they'll bring out the first movie, no matter what movie it is, no matter how good it is, what caliber it is, everyone's going to see it and go, that was crap.
Yeah.
And it could be one of the best Marvel movies behind bloody Endgame and Secret Wars and whatever, like having not seen them. And it'll still get just washed with, that was rubbish, that was shit, why do we even bother? And then Marvel.
Yeah, and you're going to have the comparisons of that's not Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man and things like that. So
Exactly.
I think they need to let it breathe.
Also on the Doomsday front, Sophia Di Martino, e.g. Lady Loki, has been spotted in England around the location that Doomsday is filming.
Awesome.
So we're going to get Chick Loki.
Potentially.
What was the name in it?
Oh, fuck. I've just gone blank. Yep. Chick Loki.
And he's hoping, don't have the mullet. Don't have the mullet.
Rock the mullet.
Fucking horrible.
Ryan Gosling is joining the MCU as a Black Panther variant. Now,
Be the White Panther.
this is getting
That's not a joke.
yeah.
No, I know.
This is getting hammered at the moment. Everyone straight off the bat came out and went, "What are you fucking doing? This is ridiculous. Like what are you fucking doing?" And then naturally, the second piece is, well, he's coming through as T'Challa's son. T'Challa actually did have a white son in the comics, et cetera, et cetera. And then that just got even bigger backlash. It's like, why the fuck did the comics do this? And I just watched the madness unfurl. I mean, he's a great actor. I mean, whatever, go nuts, have some fun with it. But I don't think it will be received very well.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either. Some of the things I've read made me lean a bit like, oh, maybe this will happen. I don't know. It won't be received well.
No.
It won't be.
All right, what do you got,
It's
Zach?
entertaining, but that's about it.
Vanessa Kirby says
Back that up.
Vanessa Kirby says she out-nerded everyone at Marvel Studios during her first Fantastic Four
I've seen
meeting,
that.
diving deep into quantum physics and cellular vibration frequencies. So it apparently helps push her over the top for getting the role because she could act out and be sort of believable at it because she knew everything.
I love that.
Apparently, she's the leader of the Fantastic Four as well. That was the other thing I seen. So through the Fantastic Four movie, she's the leader, not Reed's.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And also, it's Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Oh, no issue with it.
Love
I've
Vanessa Kirby.
seen it. And I thought it's going to be, it's another take that shifts a little bit from what we've seen already, and I like it. I think it'd be good.
So we've got what do we got here? It's an exclusive. A new holiday film is reuniting 90s biggest screen lovebirds, Rachel Lee Cook and Freddie Prinze Jr., to reunite in the holiday film The Christmas Affair. For those of you who don't know, that's She's All That, the chick from She's All That, and Freddie Prinze Jr. Everyone knows who Freddie Prinze Jr. is. They're reuniting again. There you go.
Wow.
Woo!
I'm just glad Freddie Prinze is back acting. I like Freddie Prinze. He was a good actor.
What was he doing on hiatus?
He was pretty much just looking
Chilling.
after his kids and stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's. I think he had enough of it and stopped acting. Like he was in. He played Danny Crane's son in Boston Legal. In a whole heap of episodes, and I think he popped up here and there. But I think he was mainly just had enough, and he was just look after his kids. And Sarah Michelle was doing all the acting.
Nice. Well,
Yeah,
fair
because
enough.
they've been married for 30 something, like nearly 30 years or something.
okay.
You know? It's ridiculous.
Cool. One that I seen, I don't know how old this is, but I thought it was cool as shit. MetaQuest bringing out a video game. Now, MetaQuest, for those who don't know, is a VR console. So it's the goggles, you get the hand, the joysticks and whatnot. They're doing a first-person Deadpool.
Yep, it's voiced by Doogie Howser. What's his name?
No idea.
Neil Patrick
Neil
Harris.
Patrick Harris.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's voicing Deadpool because Ryan Reynolds released a video on his channel. It was a promotion for the game.
Yeah.
And it's basically him sitting there dressed as Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
And it's on the computer, and it's like very much like a spoof of Doogie Howser. But then his sister-in-law pops up, like Blake Lively's sister pops
Yeah.
up, who was in Doogie Howser, I think. It was like the love interest. And they're there and stuff, and like she's like talking. He's like, "Stop breaking character." And then like they're standing there like, we should kiss. And he goes in and kisses. I can't do it. You're my sister-in-law. It's gross. Ah.
Yeah, right. Well, anyways, I seen that little bit of the gameplay. It looks fucking sick. It'll be awesome fun. I don't have a MetaQuest, so
But
I
it's
won't play
a MetaQuest 3 as well. Specifically, it's not.
yeah,
You
I
can't
didn't
play
see
it on the
that part.
2, so it needs to be on the 3.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
Yeah.
So this is something I found interesting, which you two can back it up for me if it is or not. Disney Planets of Groot movie is officially in the works. Is Planet of Groot going to be an interesting movie?
I've never read any Groot comic, to be honest.
Yeah, I never really read any Guardian stuff.
I've heard that they're good. I don't think they landed very well because they had a much darker tone to them. Like, because the idea of the I am Groot thing is actually because of like a degenerative mind disease or something with their beings and the way that they, I don't know. It was something along those lines, anyways. I honestly haven't read them before. I wouldn't mind. There's been a couple of times where someone's mentioned like the Groot and some of those comics, and I've thought, hey, I wouldn't mind having a look at that. Never went further than that.
Guardians has had a pretty good roster in a lot of
100%.
times. Like they've had Venom's been a Guardian, Iron Man's been a Guardian, Angela and been a Guardian. I think even Spider-Man was a Guardian at one point.
Yeah, right.
But there's been a fair few of them. But yeah, I've just never really gotten into the Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's sort of the same thing as like with the Chewbacca, like going to like the Wookiee home planet. Like if they don't speak English, like how is it going to translate onto the screen? So
Godzilla X Kong, exactly like that. It worked really well. The Minions movie,
yeah, but
they don't speak English.
Yeah, but you had humans there.
But the Minions don't speak English. The whole, like half the movie is just the Minions going, "Oh, would you
All right,
banana?"
Point proven. Okay, but
I look honestly, if like to AJ's point,
It
and
would get annoying. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot.
to that point, it could land very well. Like, I mean, the I am Groot factor, I think that's purely so that they can communicate with people. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if that's the case and they've got a different way of communicating on their home planet. But, it's like, to AJ's point, like Godzilla X Kong, you don't need to have the human speech to sort of get a movie across. I mean, one of my favorite movies from last year, there was like one line of dialogue in it. It was a horror movie and whatnot, but it was still a great movie. Like, you don't need the dialogue to set the tone.
Azrael?
Yeah, Azrael. Yeah. And like, it was fucking great. So you don't need the dialogue, but sometimes it helps. As long as it's a good story. I will, this week, I will go out and I will read some Groot comics and I'll come back to you next week.
excellent.
So there is a trailer that dropped for the Invincible game. That's coming out. It's like a fighting game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the trailer looks fucking awesome. It starts off and there's a dude stuck in traffic and stuff. He's like, beep, beep. And he sits there and he puts his hand on his head and then all of a sudden his head just explodes and blood goes over the screen as Mark flies through him. It's just fucking awesome.
Wow.
So watch the trailer for that. It looks amazing.
So what's this coming out on? PC, console?
I'm not 100% sure. I just saw the trailer for it. I didn't really see what console it came out on.
Okay. Wouldn't surprise me based on what it is if it's similar to the Marvel Rivals sort of gameplay, except it's just been amped to the gory factor.
Well, no, I think this is more like a Mortal Kombat-esque sort of fighting game.
Oh, sick.
And also another one, we mentioned that Simon has sold a couple of their properties last week, Cool Mini or not. They sold like the Rising Sun and all that kind of stuff. Turns out they've also announced that they have sold Zombicide.
Wow.
Which is one of their biggest money makers. It was one of their first games, one of the first ever Kickstarter games that came out way back when.
And they like pump through those as well. Like they do a new release every 12 months or less.
So they have sold the rights to Asmodee. Asmodee, for those who don't know, is one of the biggest gaming companies in the entire world. Yeah. They own Fantasy Flight Games and multiple other companies. They sold the rights to Asmodee to release it. So I'm sure Asmodee will continue to pump out Zombicides.
Yeah. And that's all that they'll do. Like, it's not going to get any sort of refreshing, so to speak. Because Cool Mini or not, like, they sort of put it in a prettier
essentially
format.
They did the same game multiple times, but then they made like an orc version of it in the sort of fantasy.
They did like DC versions.
They did a fantasy one. They did a space one. They did Marvel Zombies.
Yep.
They did,
and they were
DC.
You could intertwine them.
If you want,
you could.
Can.
Yeah,
there'd be a couple of mechanics you'd have to work.
The last Kickstarter was DC. DC East was the last one that they did, and that's still getting made at the moment, I think, from memory. But yeah, so they've sold the rights to that. So, but they've said it won't affect any of the ones that aren't delivered yet, so e.g. DC East, but they don't own the rights to it anymore.
There you go. How to Train Your Dragon. So we've got the live action that's coming out
soonish. Added 30 minutes to it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. There you go.
This is the first theatrical live action remake of an animated film that has cost less than the original film.
It was also directed by the original director.
Yes.
And scored by the original scorer.
Yes, it was.
And also, obviously, Gerard Butler.
And has a lot of the original cast.
Yes, it does.
Only one, Gerard Butler.
I thought there was other, just not like I knew the kid was obviously different.
None of the kids are the same.
I thought some of the other, I saw some of the other adults were the same.
But
there might be, but like obviously the main
yeah.
So a couple of the reviews. I've watched a couple of reviews because the embargo got lifted. One of the reviews I watched was he said the movie is basically a shot-for-shot remake.
Cool.
but they've added 30 minutes, and he goes, those 30 they just didn't need to be added. And honestly, it semi ruined the movie adding those extra shots. He said the main actor was good, but you're never going to live up to Jay, who does the voice for it, because it works so well. And apparently Astrid is just not good in the movie. Like, because in the animated one, she's her progression's really good. In this one, apparently the actor is just very bland, and there's no chemistry between them. And he said it's very funny.
You had to have chemistry.
Well, he said it's very funny because in their press tour interviews, they have heaps of chemistry.
I think someone said,
but in the movie,
well,
they just don't have chemistry apparently. So I mean, all three of them are obviously going to get made because it's going to make money.
Oh, of course. Especially if they can do it, as we just said, like at a reasonable quote unquote.
But it is that trilogy is one of the most perfect trilogies.
It's incredible
in cinema, in my opinion, and just.
I'm going to go back and watch them again.
The top and tail of it is brilliant. Like it's one of the movies that made me cry at the end of the third one as well. It got me. But
kids movies suck.
At the start, when in the first one, and when he puts his hand out and the dragon puts his nose on the hand. Toothless puts his hand on his nose, and then one of the final times that he sees Toothless at the end is he's patting it, and then Toothless he turns his head and Toothless moves his head away. So it's the top and tail.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like shit like that just makes my inner cinema geek just go, I fucking nailed it, man, nailed it. That's proper storytelling like that. Exactly like in Into the Spider-Verse. When you see
fucking hurry up and get the next one out, you bastard.
He's rise and fall. So when he is not confident and he jumps off the building and falls, and then when he is confident, once he got his costume and he does the big leap of faith, but when he falls, the camera's upside down and it looks like he's rising, and that's like, that thing, and it's that's beautiful cinema making.
You're reminding me of a lot of shit that I want to go back and fucking watch now. Thanks for that. Anyways, to flip that whole thing on its head, because why not? And this is my last one. Bill Paxton and Lance Henriksen are the only two actors to be killed by the Terminator, Predator, and Alien.
Speaking of Predator, have you got any other left?
I've got 1.5. I just want to add on to adding 30 minutes to How to Train Dragon.
Yep.
So just watch the last episode of Welcome to Wrexham that came out, and it starts off with like cutting things, and McElhenney was meant to be in Deadpool 3, but he got cut, and it's Reynolds talking about how I really wanted to put that scene in, but to put that scene in, it had to be like an extra like 5 or 10 minutes of other scenes as well to make that scene make sense. And the director just came over and goes, when you have to force it this hard, it's just not worth it. And he's like, yeah, all right, see you later, Rob. And then, so my other last one was Netflix apparently has bought the rights to an epic fantasy novel with for over 7-figure deal, and that book is Quicksilver. So I've never heard of it. So, yeah.
I don't know.
Never heard of it. It's been a while since we've used one of the tags. I thought we'd
I forgot we had them.
Movies.
Well, actually, no. I thought you deleted them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you boys have watched it yet, but Predator Hunter Killer.
Fuck, it is so good.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it is so fucking
Remind me, what's it
Wow.
on again?
It's on Disney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Hulu in America, I think. It is
So good. Animation
the
style.
animation. It's done in Unreal Engine, so you know it's going to look pretty. And
Similar
it's
to-
very similar to Spider-Verse.
Well, I was going to say, I would have said more similar to Arcane. Which is sort of...
the styling is similar
Yeah.
to Arcane, but the animation style is similar to Spider-Verse with like the jump frame.
Yeah, that makes sense.
kind of stuff. Like
Yeah,
the
it
stop
doesn't make
motion
sense to me,
style
but I believe you.
Well, in Spider-Verse, how everything it's done in typical animation style where it's on 2s and 4s. So let's get into some film science here. So when you film, this camera is currently shooting at 25 frames per second, meaning it's taking 25 still images every second, and that gives the illusion of motion. Animation, to save the fact of them drawing 25 individual shots for every second of frame, what they do is they animate on 2s or 4s, and essentially that means every 2 frames is the same animation, and then the next 2 frames will be the same. So they're essentially only doing 12 frames instead of 24 frames. But what that does is it gives that illusion of like the jitteriness. And so that's what Spider-Verse done to make it that more comic book-esque look to it was they animated on I think it was on 3s, and then some scenes were on like 4s, some were on 2s, but they jumped around on it to give it that jitteriness.
A moving picture rather than a movie.
Yeah, so that's what they've done on this. It looks like they've probably done it on 2s and 4s, and it just gives that sort of jitteriness to make it look more stop motiony, hand drawn kind of thing than smooth, beautiful, clean motion. And it killed it. And yeah, it's that very arcane hand painted look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost like a kind of like a watercolor. Even.
Yeah.
It's set into
3
4 parts basically. So you got 3 parts around an individual hunter or killer, one of the however you want to call them, and then you've got like the culmination of the story in the 4th part.
Do you know much about the predator lore? So essentially, predators are sent when they get to age or whatever. They're sent out to hunt something that is the most that is better at killing than they are, essentially.
Oh, so for instance, in the first Predator movie, they're sent to Earth to kill man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So usually most of them are set on Earth and they're killing people on Earth. But that's what like the alien versus predator thing is, that the aliens, they take them to places, they breed the aliens, so there's heaps of them, and they release some predators in there to kill and prove that they are good hunters.
Yep.
And so this one is essentially 3 stories of a predator finding the biggest badass to fight to prove that they are good.
One is set in Norse times. One is set in call it feudal Japan.
Yeah, it'd be feudal. Yeah.
Feudal Japan,
Feudal.
so samurais and whatnot. And the third one is set during World War II. And then it just is fucking amazing. So you've basically got a Norse or a Viking warrior through like a snowy place. She's out for vengeance basically until
She's a shield maiden.
A shield maiden out for vengeance on her vengeance pact, and goes through the whole bits and bobs through it until meets the predator, and then they go toe to toe. And
Fucking badass predator too, man.
Predator.
He's got this like energy pulse on his arm, and he like cocks it back, and it like shoots a big shockwave out.
So
and,
cool.
Oh, people just fly over, like people explode and shit. Oh, great.
And when like it even had moments like, it's a Predator movie, so it's going to be gory, even though it is animated. And there was so many moments where something would happen, some sort of bit of violence. You're still like, oh shit, like that fucking guy's got no arm anymore. And yeah, there goes his head.
Yep.
Shit. He's just fucking gone. He's exploded. And it happens like so often through the movie, like that it gives you like those little shock factors. And the way it's done, like it's fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm. And my favorite one was the second one. So the second one's in Japan, and it's set on 2 twin brothers, and their father is a emperor or something along those lines, and essentially makes them fight. And one of them's like, I don't want to do this. The other one's like, fuck yeah, I'll do it. And he goes over and like cuts his face and goes to kill him, and then something happens and he fucks off. And eventually it like cuts years later when the father dies, and at the funeral, and the other one who's been ousted comes back in like full ninja garb and goes in to fight people. And that's when the predator's like, this dude looks like a good fight.
Yep.
And it just turns into fucking all chaos, man. And the predator's like very ninja-like himself as well. And
that's what I like, the way that they sort of teed it up to each one of the scenarios as well. Because like the predator doesn't just turn up and fuck people up. The Terminator turns up and watches what's happening. So the idea is they're searching for something, and that's where the first one intervenes with the shield maiden, because he can see that she's a badass, fucking shit up. So then goes in to fight her. Same with the feudal Japan, actually goes in to get this particular warrior, but then the brothers end up like fighting with each other against it. And then the third one is quite interesting because it's all aerial
combat.
Yeah, so it's all aerial combat, and it's the predator trying to prove himself in an aerial scenario.
I was wondering how that would work, because I was like, obviously Norse and Japan, you're going to have like hand-to-hand combat warriors and things, whereas World War II is very much like range guns and those sorts of things.
So I quite like the way that they did it, in that it wasn't a guy who was a good fighter. He wasn't even necessarily a good pilot. He just had really good instincts as a pilot, so to speak, and he was much better at like getting in tune with like the engine and the flow, and like
his character reminded me a lot of Toby Grafer, whatever, the old mate from that 70s show in The Predator. Topher Grace, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
In the Predator, the one where all the different killers get taken to the planet. And they get hunted on another planet.
yeah.
And he's like, I don't know why I'm here. And then, but it turns out he's a serial killer who poisons people. His character reminded me a lot of that.
He's not like
stuff.
that at all, but just sort of the
the unsuspecting is what I was getting at. And then essentially, like in between each one, you see them on the deck of this spaceship, but they're all from different time periods. And then it reveals that they're all being cryogenically frozen. After they kill these predator, they're captured and then cryogenically frozen. And then they're released on this big battlefield on the Predator's homeworld. And they're this big fucking badass Predator with fucking skulls and spines hanging off his back and shit comes out. And it's pretty much just like Godzilla style, let them fight.
No, I don't want to answer this question because the way you explained it, it felt like the Predators were winning. But that last comment made me think like, no, the humans beat the Predators. So don't tell me because I actually want to know.
Okay, cool.
And then essentially you, after some shit happens, and then you get a couple of little teasers at the end, which one of them, all the cryogenic stuff was revealed in a Predator comic in last year or 2014 or something like that, I think it was. Like
that's a big difference.
One of the fours.
Ending in 4.
It was ending in 4.
Still.
Because I watched this thing on it today. And apparently this is the first time you've seen it in movies, but apparently it was revealed in a comic that apparently Predators, once a killer kills a predator and proves that they're a better warrior than the predator, that person is then captured and put into cryogenic freeze so they could be used later on. I didn't say anything about this.
No, you answered my question.
And the spoilers for this part. The little teaser at the end is you see the Predator's walking past with the cryotube, and you see one of them. It's got this big 4-armed alien, which apparently are these aliens that are the only alien in the galaxy that the Predator fears, and they're like mental hunting machines that apparently get along with xenomorphs to make even more mental hunting machines. And then
it looked pretty fucking badass.
And then there's another chamber which you can barely see, but a lot of people are speculating that it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's character.
I was looking so intently when they did that because they started going like it's just walking past the cryotubes in the background, and I actually paused and went back and watched it again because I'm like, I should probably pay attention to this because something's going to happen. The first alien you can't miss because it's just fucking sprawled out in front. I looked intently at every other tube they went past. I think there was only 2 others. I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, you can't really see it, but a lot of people are speculating that it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's character.
I think they're drawing.
Then the last tube you can quite clearly see because it focuses right on the face, and it is Old Love from Prey.
Yep. So Prey,
the last Predator movie that came out.
Yep. So that came out in like
you haven't watched
2
it?
years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
So good.
Really, really good.
And like it zooms in on her face, and essentially that answers the question of how the fuck did the Predators get the gun back that they give Danny Glover. So
yeah, exactly.
At the end of Predator 2,
I've seen that one.
At the end of Predator 2, Danny Glover gets given that gun.
Yeah.
So that gun is used by the chick in the Prey to help shoot the Predator and stuff.
Yep.
It's actually taken from some of these white people in the Native American, because it's all done like Native American time. It's stolen from the white people there that are sort of invading. And that's where that gun comes from.
Yep.
And because kind of like, how did the Predators get it back if she's got the gun at the end of the movie? But they kind of, if you watch the post-credit scenes of Prey, you see the ship come down and all that kind of stuff,
Loops it all in, but basically it's setting up Prey 2 because that's meant to be coming out,
unless she's going to be in
Badlands.
Was Prey live action?
I was live action. So this is the first animated movie within this.
And you can
realm.
actually it starts off in Na'vi. I think it's Na'vi. Starts off and they're speaking Na'vi, which is like Native American, and then it kind of does that thing where it transitions into English. So that, like they're speaking Na'vi, but we can hear it, kind of thing. But they actually did a Na'vi dub as well, where it's dubbed in Na'vi and subtitled in English.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Another movie that I want to go back and fucking watch now.
It was a great Predator movie.
Highly recommend it. Gives me.
She was fantastic. And funnily enough, she's in a show I'm watching right now.
Is she?
Yeah, she's in Legion.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm rewatching Legion because I can't remember how it ended, so I wanted to rewatch it.
That's Legion. Fucking hell.
the
That
Marvel
was
one.
the Marvel one that was super, super trippy. Hey?
Yeah. It's based on the character Legion, which is Professor X's child.
Yeah. Because I'm in season 2 now, and that one was a bit. I went back to
It
watch
was
season
three
2.
3 seasons. Yeah,
Season 2 was hard.
I'm not sure if I actually ever finished it. To tell you the truth.
Season 1 was great. I loved watching season 1. Season 2 was hard because that was all about. I've just gone blank on his name, but it's the dark, the dream,
The Shadow King.
Shadow King. That's it. It's all about the Shadow King, and the way that his character's done, you're like, okay, yep, that works. But to try and keep track of it, you're like, oh fuck, my head hurts. It is very, very.
But
very
even the
trippy.
first season is very much like you're watching a part, and it's like
Yeah.
like the episodes jumbled out of order of time, and you're like, wait, they're captured, but they're
Yeah,
not captured
yeah,
now. Oh no, they're captured again, and then half of it's in someone's mind, and then it's within someone's mind, inside someone's mind, in the fucking astral plane, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
It was
so good,
very, very trippy.
so good. I highly watch it.
Okay.
I have to, now I've got
It's on Disney.
Man, I've got about 7,000 things to watch today.
Fucking do it.
I just fucking added more. I've fucking seen most of them. I'm going back and fucking watch them again.
All right, what are we talking about now?
Some nostalgia shit.
That's right, nostalgia shit. We don't have a thing for that, so let's go back in the 80s.
So I brought this to the table for 2 reasons. One, Sam gave us some.
Thanks, Sam.
Right, okay. So Sam gave me some ideas, and this sort of linked in with me going back through and playing the old Pokemon games. After finishing Crystal, 2nd gen over the weekends, I'm on to Gen 3.
Yep.
Gen 2 was fucking a grind. It fixed a lot of the like quality of life things in the game, so like being able to do things like without having to always go back in your menu and things like that was well done. But yeah, like the grind in some aspects was mental compared to Gen 1 in the game.
Sure.
But yeah, so he just thought, is things that we could discuss things that from our childhood that we enjoyed then that are still around today, but has obviously changed over time into whatever it is now.
Sure. I think so we've spoken kind of about these types of things a couple of times, like just generally talking about things back then, how they compare to now.
Well, so I've gone
Different
more
reasons.
for a like I've talked when I come back around to me. I've spoken about 2 games specifically, like WoW and LoL, and just how they've sort of morphed over time.
Yeah, okay. I went a little bit broader.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we've spoken about nerd culture, how it's changed over the years. Like, it's far more acceptable. Like, it is a part of pop culture nowadays than compared to what it was. Video games, generally just video games, handheld and console, and just a quick touch on comics as well for me.
All right, well, I will officially start with because you guys are just giving biases of what you're doing.
Because we knew that you had to think about it because you haven't prepared, so we're giving you
prepared,
time.
I have prepared, thank you very much. You can suck my dick. I'm going to talk about my Transformer toys and how shit they are now. This got me thinking about my Transformer collection from back in my day when I was a kid, and how pissed off I am now that my parents sold them. Because I had the original Generation 1 Megatron that was a handheld gun and shot little pellets out of it. And it's now worth like $500 just on its own,
Naturally.
unpackaged.
Yep,
In packaging, it's like over $1,000.
Sure.
But I had so many Transformers, and I actually did a little look online today at prices for unpackaged versions of them, stuff like that. I easily would have had about over $5,000 worth of Transformers value-wise nowadays.
Nice.
And then it got me thinking about how shit they are nowadays compared to the old Transformer toys.
Because I guarantee that Megatron, if we got it out, if you had it today, you got it out, it would still fold and fire and do whatever you needed to do. Where now, same toy today, it would not work.
They're not built with the same love, I feel, nowadays. Like I've bought Bronx some, and they're like move one part, went hunt, and it's transformed. And they just look shit. Or they look shit and they are overcomplicated into what you have to do with transform them.
You need four hands to hold all the pieces together.
And like they go to part, and then once it all transforms, they don't stand up, and their legs don't move properly. Their proportions all look fucking horrible.
And you get the ones that are spring loaded. You halfway through the night, you see it. Boop,
Yeah,
it fucking clicks open.
It got me. It just gave me the shits, and then that got me. I understand a lot of the older toys and stuff. They didn't have to care about fucking child safety, the small parts, or like they didn't give a fuck about that back then. Back in those days, obviously they care a bit more now about the environment.
Sure.
So obviously a lot of plastics and stuff. They're a lot less bad for the environment and shit now than they used to be. I understand all that shit. But like it's built bad now. Like, and that got me thinking.
It's quality assurance though. Like, just because we've got all these new protocols and guidelines in place doesn't mean we can't put the same level of quality into the toy and make it last.
And it got me thinking about a lot of other toys now. About all these current toys, like all the stuff I buy Bronx and Aspen for their birthdays and shit for all their toys. And I just look at the quality of them, and they're crap.
Well, we're more and more into a society where it is everything's built to fail. Like, that is what consumerism is built on. It's built to fail so that you buy whatever's next, whatever's more. Like, things built back through 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, into the 90s and whatnot. Like, those types of things will still run today.
Motherfucking lead, baby.
Exactly. Get that fucking lead into you.
Lead wrapped in asbestos. That shit will last forever.
But I mean, it was built to last, because you want to buy a product and you don't have to go buy it again. But then people realize, well, we're not making money anymore because we're not selling products because everybody has them. So let's build shit to fail. And that's the world we live in.
But then also it kind of got me thinking in the reverse of the way of there is so much shit out now that I wish was out when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of, like you mentioned, how stuff was not as accepted back then, and it is more accepted now. So therefore it's more in the mainstream. So therefore more toys and stuff are made.
Yeah.
And there are so many fucking cool toys out now. Like I take the kids to the toy shop, and even He-Man, man. Like He-Man toys back in the day were obviously limited to what they could do by manufacturing standards back then.
It's pretty much a
arms
doll that you
moved,
can fucking stretch.
and like,
or the arm just moves.
and essentially they were the same mold with a different head and some different clothes on them and stuff. And like the latest Netflix He-Man,
And they do not look like the fucking character.
The latest Netflix He-Man toys though are fucking awesome. They look so good, and they're super cheap at the moment because no one bought them because the cartoon wasn't very successful. But they look so good. And then like when you go to Japan and stuff, they just make everything so good. There's so many fucking statues and stuff over there and toys and amazing.
Have you seen, like, on the note of Transformers, have you seen some of the more Exy type toys, which are more of adult collectibles?
Yes.
They are pretty fucking cool.
Have you seen the what's the planet's name from the movie?
Unicron.
Have you seen the Hasbro Pulse Unicron?
No.
They released a Hasbro Pulse, which is Hasbro's Kickstarter. It was.
My watch just told me what Hasbro Pulse was.
It was a lot of money.
I can imagine.
And when it's sitting on the table, so visual people will be able to see, it sits about
about
yay big,
2 by 2 foot,
and it's the planet, and then it transforms into the full robot.
Fuck.
And it is big. It was expensive, and it takes like 40 minutes to transform.
Wow.
And I saw it and I was like, I want this.
AJ finds the files. He's printing it.
No files for that. It was fucking expensive.
Well, so on that, I said I was out with my nephew and we'd wandered into JB Hi-Fi and we're at the lining up and where there's all the last minute little things to try and impulse buy, and there was, I'm pretty sure it was Transformers. There was 2 Transformers things. He looked up, walked up to him and said, "Uncle, is this a scam? It's $99. Who would pay that much?" I'm like, just means it's good. Just we'll leave it alone. He's like, "That's a scam." I'm like, "Yeah, all right, mate, cool."
You're walking away going, "Fuck, I've been scammed so many times."
I'm like, dude, we haven't bought anything yet.
Oh God, AJ's just showed me a picture of this, and holy shit. Yeah, okay, we'll have to find the video and put some links up.
That's the unpainted version,
social media and whatnot.
Say the color scheme's underwhelming, but the model looks
unpainted
fantastic.
version.
Yeah, you can see the painted version in the background. That's sick. All right, we'll put some pictures up on the socials so everybody else can have a
But
gander.
yeah,
as well. That's
go
pretty
on
sick.
YouTube and watch. There's like a video of like the dude doing the review of it and like shows you how to transform it and stuff. And I just sat there and watched. I'm like, I want this so much.
Oh God. All right, I'll jump in for a bit.
There you go. There's one on eBay at the moment for $4,826.
Oh, is that it? Fucking hell. Yeah, walking around money. Video games. So, two things, I suppose, the positive and the negative of video games. Like when you talk about handheld consoles. So I grew up with Game Boy, black and white, just playing through things like
Not even black and white. It was green.
Oh, black and green, yeah. Whatever color that screen was. But just the pixels and whatnot, going through your Pokemons, your Tetris, your Centipede and Millipede and whatever other, like your Zeldas and all those types of things, to now, like when you go to that full color isometric viewpoint where you're going and doing a lot more. Like back then it was walk, find a Pokemon, catch a Pokemon, walk, find a guy, battle a guy, walk, find a gym, battle the gym. Like it was quite simple. Like there was obviously a little bit more to it than that, but in its crux, that's what it is.
Yeah, it was usually solve a puzzle to get to the next
exactly.
part.
Solve some puzzles and whatnot. But whereas this, like nowadays, it's you don't have as many puzzles. The gameplay is generally easier, I find, than what it was back then. It's nowhere near as much about actually getting in and grinding to get through to those things. As you said, like you've got to grind to get X, Y, Z. But also the things that they've added into it for whatever value they're trying to add to it, it's just made it so expansive. Like, as I said, find a Pokemon, catch a Pokemon, find a guy, battle a guy. Now you've got to find the Pokemon, catch the Pokemon, wash the Pokemon, feed the Pokemon, take the Pokemon to the arcade, then make sure the Pokemon's happy so that he'll battle better for you, and then you're ready to battle. You're kind of like, I don't want to do all that shit. Like they've made it they've made it too complex. And I found that is a common trait with games these days, is that they're trying to put too much into them. And you'll find that with when they do sequels to games. So one of my favorite sequels is one of my favorite game universes is the Arkhamverse, going through the Batman game. So Batman #1, it was simple. It was the Asylum. It was great. The gameplay was good. The mechanics were good. It was complex enough to make it interesting so that you had to sort of work some shit out, puzzles, etc., etc. But then they went to Arkham City and they added more on top of that. You're like, you didn't need to. Like, you still had the same gameplay. Keep that gameplay. Keep the mechanics. Get us into a more immersive world, which you've done. That's all you needed to do, really.
Yeah.
Whereas they added all the other bullshit. And then as they went to the next game, more bullshit. Next game, more bullshit. So I find that it's just that addition as they sort of go through it. But from a console perspective, like if we're talking from back in the 90s through to now, I mean, console gameplay for me is fucking incredible. Like nowadays with your first person, third person shooters and whatnot, like love those types of games.
See, consoles piss me off nowadays.
Your Arkhamverse types games, like they were fucking incredible, where you get that third person type of view and you can expand it out further. Like those gameplays for me are amazing. Like the Spider-Man games, similar to those as well, because they tell an incredible story. They're quite immersive in their gameplay and their storytelling, and they are fun to go through and do some of those grinds to get you 100% of the games.
Well,
they are fun to do.
But
those
my
types
issue
of
with the
things.
new consoles is the fact of I buy a game, I then have to sit down for 5 hours and install it.
I suppose I'm also
That just fucking infuriates me.
I suppose I am also talking from the sweet spot where you didn't quite need to do that yet. So I'm probably talking about maybe
That's what I
7
mean.
or 8
Like modern
years
day,
ago.
like old school, like up to PlayStation 3. You're like, you put the disc in, fucking play it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Brilliant.
I'll jump in here before you go on with your comic side, because I said I'm talking about video games as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, League of Legends and WoW, when they first started, were very much grindy based with things. So like WoW in particular was you had to go through and grind to get levels.
I love that WoW's nostalgia for him.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're
Wow.
welcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Warcraft 2, baby. Warcraft 2.
well, actually, Warcraft 3 was my prime time. But yeah, so WoW at the start, like vanilla WoW was, you'd have to grind and it would take hours to do things and you couldn't
Kill a pig. Kill a pig.
Yeah, kill a pig, and then
kill a
like,
pig.
you need 20 things from these pigs, and you'd have to kill 30 to get one. And at the time, when everyone was obviously in a small area, you're fighting everyone else trying to do that. So killing 20 pigs would take a fair amount of time before just to get one of them, let alone the 20 items you needed. and then things like that. So it was a lot harder then. But at the same time, what I liked about WoW was figuring things out for myself. So even when I didn't really start playing with WoW, I started in the second expansion really with Frozen Throne, and then into the fourth with Cataclysm. And even then at that point, there were some things coming out, but you still really had to figure out a lot of things by yourself. But at the same time, too, you also needed add-ons to do things. You needed add-ons to track your quests and to manage raids and everything like that, where now WoW has made that a lot simpler. You can tag mobs that other people are fighting, so you can share the loot. But they've added all those, what were third-party add-ons, are now part of the game. So Quest Helper is now inbuilt into it, and a lot of those aspects are there. But as you said before, with some of the current things, you still then have to grind things that are pointless. And in WoW, some of those things then become like random things. So you might have to grind this one dungeon over and over again for that one piece of loot you need and just never get it. And therefore you cannot proceed to the level of content that you might need to because you've just been unlucky. You can't go and buy that piece of gear or make it. You just have to keep running that same aspect. And then League League, I think, is in a better spot than WoW for what they've done over time in terms of when they started, it was you had to grind. They had a rune system where if you're a new player, you had to put in a certain amount of hours to unlock all the runes so then you could be at the same level as your friend, where they've ditched that system now, and once you get to level 30, which is quite easy to do, you unlock all the runes and you find you're good to go, where before you had to buy them all. The problem with League now is it's power creep. So your original characters walk up, hit a button, it does one thing. Now you've got to read a wall of text for that one ability. It's got a passive, it's got an on-hit effect, it's got an active, it's got a reset, it's got all those things. So characters that are still in the game are almost defunct because you can't play them because there's another character that does what it does but better. So yeah, over time, I think League's done a good job in morphing and trying to keep old players invested and new players invested at the same time, where WoW has had to go back and re-release vanilla WoW as WoW Classic because that's what people wanted to play. Whereas new WoW is almost a completely different game to what original WoW was.
It's funny that you bring up League of Legends and WoW, considering they're both technically the same game.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know if you know this, but League of Legends, that style of game comes from Warcraft 2.
Yeah, Warcraft 2 and then Warcraft 3 with Dota and things like that.
So, well, no, Dota was Warcraft 2. It was all Warcraft 2 because Warcraft 2, they released the battle maps and all the code for it and went on the BattleNet and just went, make games. And people got it and made lots of games, and essentially that's where Dota came from. Yep. And
there's Heroes of the Storm and other versions of it too. They all eventually morphed into these big... Dota became its own thing, which turned into a lawsuit because they weren't... they didn't know if they were allowed to call it Dota, blah, blah, blah. And
there's also an awesome animation out there that is really, really fucking good, so go check that out.
And that's where League of Legends came from as well.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
But and then obviously too, like most things, they capitalize on microtransactions. Even though League is free to play, you've always got that FOMO aspect of trying to get what you need with the current event that you've got to get before.
That's one thing I miss from the old days. No fucking microtransactions. Just play the fucking game.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for me, because I went a little bit broader, I think. Consoles, I think they were great in their, like when we were growing up. I think they overall they were better. They were better in our age. Like they've got more that they can do nowadays.
They're not consoles anymore.
Exactly, they're not handheld consoles. They're consoles.
Whereas PCs wrapped in a small box.
Exactly. And then from a console perspective, I think they were like you'll always have that nostalgic pull and like the greatness when we were younger. I think they were fucking excellent when I was through my teens and into my early 20s and whatnot. And I think they're on the downward curve again now. So they were better than what they were, but now they're going backwards. As you said, like the micro purchasing, the wait 3 days to download the content so you can actually play the fucking game.
That is literally the only reason I have never bought one of the new Xboxes, one of the new PlayStations or any of that shit. I don't want to go out, buy a disc, put the disc in, if my machine can even take a disc, and then wait 5 hours for the fucker to install into the console. I want to take it home and play the fucking game.
I think Switch is now setting the standard, so to speak, or starting the run of it. You won't be getting physical anymore.
EB Games and places like that will be dead within a couple of years, I reckon.
Probably.
Because
why do you think they picked up? EB Games is an example. Why do you think they picked up Zing so that they could actually continue to? It's
funny.
Content?
You go into EB. I went into EB Games the other weekend. and there are literally 3 shelves, like 3 wall shelves, for one for Switch, one for PlayStation, one for Xbox, and the rest of the shop is stuff that you can buy at Zing, even though it's not a Zing EB one.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, that's
like
what it is.
3/4 of the shop is just random shit, and there's 3 walls of games. That's it.
And that's the same.
Yeah, I remember walking and it effectively was like a video easy at times.
Yep.
Walk-in wall-to-wall games and
That's
different
it.
things.
It's hilarious.
Which it isn't. It won't be now. It'll be far more driven by the consoles and the different consoles that are out there, and they'll drive just selling the physical hardware that you need for it. And you watch.
I go to like the EB game places now, like the not EB, like cash converters and stuff like that, secondhand places, and get games for like $5 for my PlayStation 3. I'm fucking happy.
Exactly.
But coming back to one of the point I started to make, I don't think I finished properly, is games back then you usually had to figure it out, whereas now there's walkthroughs up before the game's even out and things like that. So like with WoW, it's
Or you had to buy the book.
it said you had to go out and be lucky enough to have $20 to buy that walkthrough.
Yeah, but even going out and getting the book, like that was still a thing in itself. Like you'd get the game, you'd play the game, you'd have fun doing that, and you're like, right, I want to do everything in this game. So you'd go get the book.
It was
and
still a job to go and get it. When now
Exactly.
it's I click a button, okay, this is how I do this boss fight, or it's fine, or this is what I do to get here. Like it takes the challenge out of games because the answer's already out there at a click of a button.
Yep.
You don't have to have that resilience and persistence to get through a game anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
One last thing before we head off for this episode, and that is myself and Zach played some games on the weekend with Alana from Girls Who Don't D&D.
Girls Who Don't D&D.
She came around and her and her partner,
campaign coming out
and
soon.
we played a whole heap of games. We played
Kings of Tokyo,
Love Letter, 5 Tribes, and Catan.
Yeah,
I heard Zach did really well.
And
guitar.
Zach got flogged in most of the games, but fuck me, I have never seen someone go so bad in Catan.
I'll preface it. I did make
my
one
God.
poor decision to start with, which was then compounded because the only numbers that were fucking rolled, 10, 11, and 9.
We literally had 6 rolls in a row that were 10.
And did I have anything on 10s? No. Did the other 3? You fucking better believe it.
He had 2 of his houses on a 2.
Yeah, like that was my mistake. Like I realized, I hadn't played a long time. I went for
got
position.
nothing.
I didn't look at the.
He got nothing.
I went for position, not the numbers at
And
the
like
start.
he couldn't trade because he wasn't getting cards.
Did you automate the? Did you face down and then flip the numbers?
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't know where the numbers were
No,
going to be.
I went by position, not by numbers. And when those numbers got flipped, I got fucked.
Yeah, okay.
And then when I put my second house down, that was the real mistake. I could have put it somewhere else where I would have got something. I was like, oh no, I've got this plan. I'm going to do it this way. And then within 2 rolls, I realized that plan had fucked me, and I was dead. I just sat there and watched.
There's one thing you can do, which I've seen done to still have the randomness for it. So you have all your numbers face down. Everyone places their first house and road, and then you flip them, and then you place your second one, so that at least you've got a potential capacity to get near a number.
But I probably still would have made that same thing because the 2 houses weren't horribly placed. It was the third one, and yeah.
It was so bad. I've never seen someone go that bad at Catan, man. It was,
There was about 4 full rounds I didn't have a card.
and I was like literally, Alana was across from me, and I had 8 points.
Yep.
I had 9 points. So I was like, I had longest road, and I had a secret victory point down, and I was about to I was just waiting for my turn to get round, and I was about to win. I had enough to upgrade one of my fucking settlements into a city.
I'm assuming that
Alana won.
fucking stole longest road from me. And I was like, and it got around to her next turn, and she won on her next turn.
But that also went
played.
with you with Kings of Tokyo. He had a card that could have changed the dice result. So there was 3 turns. It was him and Alana's partner
I
Isaac.
would have won.
He should have won.
Ease. And I just completely forgot that I had a card that let me change the die. And we went round and round and round like 3 times, and I lost because I forgot that this card was it.
So he should have won, but he didn't. But yeah, no, it was good fun. We played a bunch of different games, and Alana was thoroughly intrigued and excited by AJ's 3D printed deck box things. Especially the Catan ones.
Box inserts.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, Zach, you've got to go print these when we go." So, but yeah, it was great fun. I know she's open to doing it again and even hosting it herself. So
Nice.
We'll be on the lookout for more games with Alana and Isaac.
Always got to love the games.
And on that note, that will be the end of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. As always, thank you very much for watching and listening to us ramble on about random things.
We have fun doing it. We hope you have fun listening and watching.
Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we will catch you next week on the Frantic Nerdcast.
Stay frantic.
See you later.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to Frantic Nerdcast.
You can find all our latest news and information on Facebook or at franticnerdcast.com.
You can find us on Instagram at Frantic Nerdcast. Find AJ at Weird Art by AJ. Find Zach at Frantic Kaz and myself at Frantic Brock.
Please make sure to head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe for more YouTube-only content like Sequelize It and Plays Games.